So we're going to transition to the panel now, and before I turn it over to Bill and Arnell, I want to share some work that we've been doing as part of the roundtable on obesity solutions. Myself and Jim Salas, Jim Whitehead, and Russ Pate have been leading the Physical Activity Youth Innovation Collaborative within the roundtable. And one of our goals over the past 2 years has been to better understand, turn my mic on, sorry about that. Okay, is that better? Okay, sorry about that.
Start over.
Should I start over? Could you hear me in the back? You could hear me. I'm pretty loud. So one of our goals over the past 2 years has been to really understand how some districts across the country have taken the evidence-based strategies and put them into practice. Jim really highlighted translation, and we know a lot of recommendations have been made for multi-component school physical activity programming. But we also know that very few districts have been able to take those recommendations and put them into place. We wanted to understand what happens, or what are the factors within those schools that really enabled them to put into place multi-component physical activity programs. So what we did is we undertook a study, and we asked people who are part of the roundtable and part of our innovation collaborative to nominate school districts that were exemplar, that were doing really well with providing physical activity and physical education to their students. And collectively, we came up with about 59 districts across the country. And we were able to make contact and get consent from 23 of those districts that were geographically and economically diverse. And we interviewed them, and we spent a lot of time really trying to understand what they were offering and how they were offering it. And I want to just share a couple of findings because I think it's relevant for us to take away and help share with other school districts so that we can really inspire change across the country. So we found that these districts outperformed a nationally representative sample of districts in terms of the minutes of physical education they were providing per week as a requirement and the amount of recess they were providing. It's consistent with what Jim said, two really important components of getting kids up and moving. What we also found was that the average number of physical activity programs that were offered were very high. So think about a school bringing in a walking running program, a classroom break program, another dance program. We found that at the elementary school level, it was 5.5 programs. So what that was telling us was that schools are taking initiative above and beyond physical education and recess to bring in a portfolio of programs to get the kids up and moving. And we think that's really important because if you have a champion in the school and you put together some resources and you collaborate with the stakeholders in the community, you can probably be successful. But what that also tells us is there are a lot of communities out there who haven't been able to do that. So how do we provide the resources, the inspiration, the training to get other communities to do the same programming and get kids up and moving? What we don't know is if those kids are achieving the 30 minutes of physical activity during the day, but based on what Jim just showed, the likelihood that they're getting more than districts that aren't providing that is pretty high. So we're in the process of publishing those results and disseminating them because, as we also heard this morning, schools and communities like to learn from each other. They want to know, how did you do it? We'd like to bring that here. So we've been really deliberate in trying to distill the factors that really led to the success of these exemplar districts. So we look forward to sharing